Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and welcome to another edition of Horrific Venoms, Alphabet of Doom. Now, this is the series I've been doing with my very good friend, Eric, also known as Last Venom 76, and we're basically doing a two-part review. He takes care of part one, which is a martial arts recommendation for our letter of the week. I do part two, which is a horror recommendation for our letter of the week. And the letter this week is B. So, after thinking about this for a while, I was originally going to do a lesser-known slasher called Basement Jack, but I decided against it because I looked in my collection and I had something that I wanted to do even more. And that is Black Sabbath. Now, Black Sabbath is a 1963 film which runs approximately 92 minutes and is directed by the late, great Mario Bava, one of my favorite directors ever. Unfortunately, he passed away on April 27th of 1980 at the age of 65. Some of his vast catalog include Bear and Blood, Shock, Kill Baby Kill, and my personal favorite, A Bay of Blood. Now, A Bay of Blood is my very favorite by him, but this definitely is a very close second. This is a fantastic movie. I wanted to give a shout out real quick to the movie section, Ted, for sending this to me. I had seen this years ago, and he had actually sent it to me, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago, maybe a little bit longer. And I watched it the other day, and it just renewed my love for this film. I absolutely love this anthology. And basically what I'm going to be doing in this review is breaking down each part of this 3-section anthology. The first one, of course, we're going to start with is The Telephone. Now, The Telephone stars Michelle Mercier as Rosie and Lydia Alfonsi as Mary. A brief synopsis, because this one doesn't have a whole lot to it. Yeah. Basically, a woman is getting threatening phone calls in her house. She calls a friend by the name of Rosie to come over and kind of stay with her. And she finds out that her ex-boyfriend, fiance, husband, I'm not really sure what it is because they never really specify, if I'm not mistaken. But he had just escaped from a prison or a mental asylum. And that's basically where I have to leave it. Now, I do like this one. To me, it's the perfect start to a anthology series. It's my least favorite, but it kind of gets you warmed up for what's coming ahead. I gave this one a 7.5 for The Telephone. Now, the second segment is called Wunderlich. Now, that stars the late, great Boris Karloff as Gorka and Mark Damon as Vladimir Dufay. Now, a brief synopsis on this one. Vladimir Dufay is traveling across the country, trying to get to another town. Along the way, he stops and finds a dagger in a person on the side of the road. I can't remember if it's a friend of his or not. But he stops at a house nearby. It turns out to be their dagger because it was hanging on the wall. And he's introduced to the family, which consists of two sons, a daughter, one of their sons' wives, and their child. And they're basically waiting for their father to come home after trying to track down some evil entity. He states that if he is not back within 5 days, not to let him in the house. I'm kind of going to leave it there. I don't want to say what type of segment this is, because I don't want to give it away if you've never seen it. But it's really cool. It is tremendously atmospheric. And I actually gave this one an 8.5. To me, it's the perfect middle for an anthology because it amps up the fright and the atmosphere and the overall impending doom. Now, the third and final part in this anthology is called A Drop of Water. Now, this stars Jacqueline Perot as Helen Chester and Harriet Medine as the neighbor. This creeps me out to this day. This segment of this still creeps me out. It will probably always creep me out. The story is basically this. The neighbor gets a phone call that from the maid of a house, of course, down the street, where her boss had just passed away. As she goes over to help her get her ready for the coroner or the morgue to come pick her up, basically she lays out a dress and some stockings and shoes. Now, on the finger of the deceased is a ring. And while the maid's not looking, the neighbor snatches the ring. But it is also known that the woman of the house had been playing with dark forces. And that's pretty much where I'm going to leave it. I will say that the expression on the face of the deceased lady haunts my dreams. It just does. Some people may think it's goofy. I just think it's creepy, and it's almost the perfect section for me. I gave this one a 9.5, and I was very close to giving it a 10, just for this section alone. This is a great anthology. I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen it, but it is a fantastic, fantastic movie. Now, the version I have here that my friend Ted sent me was the widescreen European version. Now, this is Italian, of course, with English subtitles, so you have to read subtitles. But this is such a fantastic movie. I just have no words. Definitely one of my favorites. And this is actually, Mario Bava considered this his best work. So, right from the horse's mouth. So definitely check out part 1, which is Eric's martial arts masterpiece recommendation. Have you seen Black Sabbath? If not, what are you waiting for? Definitely comment below and let me know. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.